Hello, algebra students. We are in a brand new section. We're still in chapter 1, finishing it out. We're like 3 sections away from finishing. We're in 1.8, and we're going to write and use ratios, rates, and unit rates. So it's basically all about fractions and ratios and applying all of that to real life. So let's start right here. We have some definitions here. We've got a ratio. There we go. Oops. Messed that up, didn't I? All right, we've got a ratio. That's a comparison of two quantities by division. And we can write it a couple of different ways. You can write it as A to B, where A is a number, B is a number. For example, 7 to 8. That would be a great example. You could use the colon and do 7 and then colon 8, and then you can write it as a fraction, 7 over 8. So that would be a way that you could write a ratio. And ratios with the same comparison are equivalent. So if you're comparing the same thing, and let's say they've given you a ratio and maybe some additional information, you could use it to find missing information. And I'm going to show you how that's possible in example 1. Now proportion, we'll do that a little bit later. It won't be this particular setup. Well, it could be. It's basically where you set two ratios equal to each other. That's all you're doing. And they're not going to be the same numbers necessarily. And you're going to have three things you do know and one thing you don't know. And then you're going to find the one thing you don't know. So let me apply it to example 1. I think that would be the best way to get this started. And it says the ratio of faculty members to students at a college is 1 to 15. There are 675 students. How many faculty members are there? So this very first sentence gives you ratio information, and they're comparing faculty members to students. So the first number is going to be your faculty members, and your second number is going to be your student number. So here's the ratio we're investigating, 1 to 15. 1 is your faculty, okay, and 15 is your student, okay? So that's how you would set that up. I would actually encourage you to get it out of the colon way and do more of the fraction, so we can actually create a proportion and solve for this information. So here's our fraction, 1 over 15. And we're going to set that equal because we have some more information that they gave us. 675 students. That's important because we can't stick the 675 just anywhere. We need it to line up. So if we've got faculty up top and student down bottom, then we need to put that student number in the same position-wise on the bottom, because it's on the bottom in the first fraction. You have to maintain order that way. Faculty over student equals faculty over student. So this is what they're asking us to find. How many faculty members are there? If you have a student body of 675 students and you're maintaining this ratio of 1 to 15, then how many teachers are you going to have? And so we're going to set up this proportion and we're going to cross multiply. So let's start here. 1 times 675 is 675, and that equals x times 15, which is 15x. It's a one-step equation from here. Just divide each side by 15, and you can use your calculators to help speed that process up. Just do 675 divided by 15, and we get exactly 45. And there you go. So there should be 45 faculty members if there's a student body of 675. So when you do things like example 1, where you're given a ratio and then asked to apply that ratio to find other information, other given information, then you're going to set up a proportion, set up your both of your fractions in the same order. So if you do faculty over students in the first fraction, do faculty over students in the second fraction. Okay? You also could have done students over faculty equals students over faculty. You would have gotten the same exact answer, but what you don't want to do is faculty over student and then student over faculty. You have just messed up the problem, and the answer will not make sense. Okay? I'm going to leave this bottom one for you to emulate. I'm going to give you an extra credit point. If you can write and solve a proportion when you're given the ratio of games won to games lost for a baseball team is 3-2. The team has won 18 games, so how many did the team lose? So whether you can do that in your head or not, that's great. I'm really happy for you. I can do it in my head too. I want to see a ratio, two ratios set equal to each other. I want you to set up a proportion, then solve. So go through that exercise with me, okay? And if you have any questions, write it down in the margin. Use all of your paper. You have more space than I do. Use the rest of your paper. And if you need more, pull out some notebook paper and just attach it with it, okay? Bring your questions to class. Write your questions in the margin if you have any. And thanks for listening.